Hey everyone, we are back again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I am so pleased today because we have another special guest for the conference, Miss Lashana West. If y'all don't know her by now, okay, get to know her. One thing that we do here in community is we thrive, and I have been a part of Lashana Spaces for about 2 years now. Just being able to see her communities and all the amazing things that she does there, I was able to benefit heavily, right? Because we have some of the speakers at our conference that came from her community. But I will give an introduction here so you can all get to know Lashana and what she's going to be bringing to the conference. And make sure you guys grab your tickets. All right, Lashana, let them know who you are.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you so much for continuing to partner with me and my brands. My name is Lashana West, and I am a business therapist and speaker coach. I'm also the owner of Pop Up and Create. And what I love about what I do is not only do I coach you to be the best version of yourself, but Pop Up and Create enables us to have a safe space and a playground to practice the things that we're working on. And I'm super excited to be a part of the Women Empowering Generations Conference 2026. Last year was such a blessing, and I'm super excited that we're able to connect this year as well.
Absolutely. This is one of the highlights. Community builds growth and prosperity. And for me, purpose. I'm living in these moments. Thank you, Lashana, for everything that you've done for us because you were our first corporate partner sponsor. We needed some support and she came through. And also just being able to continue to come back and pour into the community. With the conference being at hand, we talked about bringing all generations into one room. That's pretty big. And I think you were the fueling source for that. Last conference, you said, "Did you mean to do this?" I said, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." And you noticed something that now we get to have the benefit of coming together and seeing that, that living proof. So, what do you say to people coming to the conference this year and what energy you're going to bring into the room?
Yeah. So I'll be honest with you. Like last year, when I seen all the different generations from your nana to your mom to you to your niece, I just looked around and looked at all the different age ranges, right? And I was like, sis, do you know that there's several generations, not only in your community, but just within your proximity? And one thing I love about you, Allegra, is that I never see ego with you, right? Ego can be like, girl, yeah, I know that. Or it could be, no, I really didn't think of it, but I don't even have time to even listen to what you're saying because I got a lot going on. But you have such a calm and open presence that you hear, you explore, and then you activate, right? And so I'm just super excited because right now, living, we have 4 generations in my family: me, my daughter, my mom, and her mom. But what a blessing that every time I connect with you in the WIN community, you literally have all of your generations in one room. That is something that we have to start acknowledging, even if it's just two, even if it's a mom and a daughter. That is a big deal. So, what I would say for those who are coming this year, I want us to learn how to be in producer mode. If you're here live or on the replay, I need you to put producer mode in the comments. Lashana, what do you mean by that? Like, I'm not in a studio. I don't sing. I don't rap. That's not what I'm talking about. When I say producer mode, I'm talking about looking at behind the scenes. Okay, this is at Modex Studios again. Wow, look at this Black woman owned plays, and we have a Black woman owned business here that is cultivating and bringing together other people. Okay, we have speakers, we have vendors. Um, like be in producer mode when you go anywhere, because what it does is it helps you to, you're still in consumer mode, but it helps you to think outside the box and start working on your own table, so then later you can invite others to your table. I'm really big about not only getting in the room, but getting in the room, being active in the room, and then projecting out what you're going to do to create your own room. That is literally just how my brain works, because I know how it feels to be a fly on the wall or to be someone who's super dope, super brilliant, but you don't ever have the mic or ever, you're never on stage. And it's not because you don't want to be, sometimes it's connected to the belief that you can be. Clock that T.
I had to give a huge pause to that one. That's really good because I mean, we even saw in community, especially in the Win, where people like Nysa Shepherd. I don't know if she's gonna pop on, but she'll pop in everywhere now. But years ago, she would just sit in the audience and kind of, sit around and watch. But I think it's beautiful to see when you're in the room, because now she's in the room, right? Not only in there, but speaking. People
Mm-hmm.
hear her. She's making sales. She's thriving. People know her name. She's sitting at tables she never sat at before.
Yeah.
And just from a mindset perspective, because we know you're a business therapist,
Mm-hmm.
that girl will Lashana will get you all the way together. Okay. And one of the things I love about what you're doing for people is you're getting our minds wrapped around what this really looks like for us. There's
Mm-hmm.
so many people say, I want to be a vendor. I want to be a speaker. I want to be a vendor. But, being in the room alone by itself, because we're completely done with vendors and speakers. There's no more room for that.
Yep.
But being in the room by itself and just being a producer of what you are and who you are and I think that that's amazing. That's what I just pulled from what you said.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell them more about like what you do when it comes to the mindset of business? Because I know some people are like, what? What does that look
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked. And before I answer that, if you don't mind, Allegra, one thing that I see you doing and that I love, you don't just go to events, sit in the chair, do what you're supposed to, and leave. You're working the room, you're introducing yourself, you are promoting your brand, you are seeing talent that isn't aligned with what your community needs, and you're asking and pitching yourself. I'm actually having a art of pitching masterclass on January 30th. And pitching is not always just, oh, let me pitch so I can speak. Pitching is introducing yourself. Pitching is saying, hey, you are a speaker here. We need speakers here. Would you like to speak? Pitching is literally when you're at the grocery store and you see someone that you know online that has never met you, and you just merely introduce yourself. And if the conversation goes further, cool. But if it doesn't, just by introducing yourself, you still pitched yourself. So I just had to give that shameless plug about the masterclass coming up, and also you being an active pitcher indirectly, maybe not even really realizing it, because I see you working. I'm always peeping like, oh, okay, I see her. And I just love that you do that. Okay. So let me just give you your flowers right there. If you're like, okay, business therapist, what does that mean? Is she a therapist for business owners? No, I'm a therapist by trade. I have a master's in clinical counseling. And 5 years ago, I left corporate and I paved my own lane for what I do now, which is business therapy and mindset coaching. So I help you pinpoint the root cause of what's been stopping you from leveling up in life and business. And most times it stems from childhood junk, whether you were bullied in the past, whether you grew up in a dysfunctional home, or whether you just were very introverted and you carried that, oh, I'm shy persona throughout your life. And what I like to help my clients to realize is that's the surface issue. That's not the root, and that's not the true cause. And how we get to the root is a couple of my modalities, but one is 5Xing the why. Asking yourself why 5 times helps you get closer to the real reason. And so we unpack all the junk. And most of my clients either A, have a therapist, or because I'm a therapist, I can see that there's some other needs and I'll refer them to a therapist. But it's the best of both worlds when it comes to business coaching, life coaching, and emotional intelligence, which is what I call business therapy based off of my resiliency mindset science.
I love it. And I've had so many people in the back end. Lashana doesn't know this, guys, but I have so many people in the back end like, about Lashana, like, can you tell me if I should like call her for this? I'm like, you better call her. And I think it's so important in community for us to have like-mindedness and when it comes to whatever you do. So I love what you do, Lashana. Thank you for my flowers too, sis. I've been growing. I remember Lashana challenged me in a room this past year. And clear my throat.
Which time, boo?
I think every time, girl, I can't even count no more. But it's a good challenge because if you want to grow, and you're that person like I was, and I still am, where I want to
Mhm.
be better me every day, then yeah, I'm gonna want to be challenged. And Lashana, you'll challenge me. You'll challenge anyone that comes in a room, and that helped me so much. Not just with the suggestions for this conference, y'all. We probably wouldn't be here having this conference if Lashana would not have opened her mouth and said that.
Mm.
So I just want to go ahead and just say that, okay? Because sometimes we take those little things for granted. I call those small wins, but they're very big for me.
Yeah, you know what, Allegra? That's another big piece of my brand is being courageous and vulnerable enough to share what you're thinking and what's on your mind and not be focused on the end result of how is a person going to respond. Are they going to think that I'm trying to tell them what to do? I'm so obedient, that's none of my business about how the person responds, right? Because if I would have just seen that in my mind, knew it was a game changer for the world, but not said anything, then I'm not being obedient. And then that would have been on my conscience, right? So I get it off of my plate, give it to you, and what you do with it, that's your prerogative. And I love that you listened because I already know you're like A-type personality. You got to have like one of my other clients, and I don't like saying clients, I like to say accountability partners in crime. But she's like, what's the plan for the plan? And we all get to win. Like, nope, shameless plug. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Okay, let me quit. So now I get to be a part of the experience again. We got new speakers, people traveling in. And mind you, you already got your community on lock. But I love that this theme and this topic is really, really, really aligned.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much for that. Now listen, Lashana has already given me a theme song, so I'm gonna go with that. Okay, y'all might hear that on my social media a few times this week. Thank you. And also, Lashana was a speaker at our last conference. Like I said, she's always supported Win. And being big in the rooms and not worrying about what other people have to say about it or what they're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Freeing mindset. Thanks for sharing that. Is there anything else that you're doing right now? Because I know Pop Up and Create is one of my favorite spaces. I did a reel recently. Lashana inspired me. She said, you should just show them the difference between like Pop Up and Create and what you experience in your other, situations. I was like, Pop Up and Create is the vibe. It's the best content creation studio ever. Like, if you want to be in a space where not only you're just in a room where you have these, areas where you can take beautiful photos and have great branding experiences, you also have a community there. You want
Yeah,
to talk about that?
most definitely. So I'm literally just sharing out this live. Pop Up and Create was created because I got tired of asking to sit at other people's tables. I got tired of getting on Peerspace trying to find something or reaching out to places for them to sponsor for me to come there, right? And now every single week I get people reaching out to me, hey, can you be a sponsor? Can you be a partial sponsor? This is what I want to do. And I make it work. If they can't afford what's on the site, I ask them, what can you afford? What's in your budget? And if it's zero, we still figure it out, right? And so it's a multi-purpose content creation studio that's elevated into also a wellness hub for entrepreneurs, creatives, and business owners. We're rolling out our wellness series where we'll have everything from sound bowl healing, yoga, Reiki. I always mess that word up. Reiki, Reiki, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Journaling. I'm partnering with different practitioners, having them bring their skills and share their gifts with the community. That's one aspect. The other aspect is we're always available to be open for you. Someone hit me up yesterday. Hey, I know it's last minute. Is there somewhere I can come and record? We have 3 or 4 different content suites. Yes, there's somewhere for you to come record. And I'm talking about last minute, same day, right? The other piece is, and Allegra is one of our pop-up partners. We like to partner with brilliant minds who need space, but it might not either A, be in the budget or might not be in the budget. Okay, share your talents with us and we'll share our resources with you, right? Kind of like a barter, but it's more of a partnership. And so definitely got some good things cooking. It's in Marietta, like 5 or 10 minutes from SunTrust Battery. And my goal is to have people in it every single day. For example, right now it's empty. That's a problem. I say we're either losing out on impact or income. Impact is there's somebody at home either recording in their office, hence, where are we at, Allegra? We at home, yes? Okay, we want to be at home, that's fine. But there's also some people who prefer to be in a place that has free Wi-Fi, free parking, free aesthetics, but they don't know where to go. And so what I love is that we are available so you don't have to worry any longer about where to go create. You can pop up and create with us.
Okay, I love that. And listen, y'all, I've told Lashana whatever I got to do to get in the door. All right. This is the importance of being in the room and being around people who bring so much value. So I love being a pop up partner, guys. And seriously,
Mm-hmm.
when you talk about being able to create these partnerships, right? I think sometimes people don't understand the value of getting out of the house, like
Yeah,
literally leaving your space in where you're comfortable and actually re-energizing yourself in another environment that can motivate you, get out of the stuckness, get out of the overwhelm, right? And also
right.
being around other people that can motivate you. Is there anything that you would like to leave? Because I know that people are going to find out so much more about you. And guys, listen, I want you all, as you're watching, I want you to make sure that you click on the link. I'm going to put it in the chat um, on uh, on all of the channels. Actually, right now it's on the YouTube channel. If you're on YouTube watching, the link is already in the chat for the Healing While Building Summit. I was
Mm-hmm.
a speaker last year, and I met some amazing people at that summit. Oh my God! And I just know that because of the relationships I built then, y'all, I am still thriving today.
Mm.
I am. I'm still thriving today. Dr. Oliver, shout out, sir. He's one of the speakers. Why? Because I met him at the Healing Wealth Building Summit. Something that y'all don't know, but we are going to have a co-host who is a comedian who I met at the Healing Wealth Building Summit, right? Like y'all don't even know this. But there are things that Lashana, you have brought to the table as a sponsor for this community, as someone who really pours your heart out for people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also, I just encourage everyone, as you guys, as you're getting to know more about Pop and Create and Healing While Building, I want you guys to also connect with Lashana. Those personal DM connections are absolutely incredible. I think that's exactly how I met you because I DM'd you. And you were like, come on a live Instagram with me. And I was like, what? What did I do?
Yeah, you know what? So first of all, I'm so glad that you were active in a room that you were in and you connected and forwarded those connections to growth to where you got a co-host, you got speakers for what you're doing. And then it's just a domino effect of impact. But one thing about me, and I think it might be because my dad was in the military, God rest his soul, he actually passed December 23rd, which tomorrow will be a month. I'm literally looking at the calendar right here. I'm like, wow, that's almost a month. He was in the military, so I grew up all over, born in Germany, raised all over. And so no one is like a stranger to me. Now I have really good intuition. If I would have got a bad vibe, I wouldn't have invited you anywhere, right? But I have an optimistic intuition to where good energy, okay, yeah, let's do it. And sometimes that's bitten me in the butt, and I'm working on that of not giving a yes so quickly. However, your energy was just good soil. And I'm like, hey, let's jump on IG Live. Let's chat. Because why not test it out in the live versus, oh, no, take the band-aid off. Let's get to it, right? Fast forward. And honestly, Allegra, I feel like it's been longer than 2 years. I could be wrong, but it feels like I've known you longer than 2 years.
It's been
Um,
longer.
nevertheless, I think maybe it would have been Clubhouse where we first got introduced and then you moved to my DM. I'm actually go back and check. But I want to ask you something. What made you reach out?
Your vibe, your energy. Like y'all listen, okay, so this is just a side note moment because we know that we're going to see you guys at the conference in person, but listen, just to connect with people online. I connected with Lashana. I think I followed you on Clubhouse. went to some rooms that you were in, definitely immediately was like the voice is the vibe, right? Then, right, because you go from the voice and then you go to the profile pic and you like, oh, okay, the profile pic a vibe. And then you go to the bio and you're like, oh, okay. And then when I went to your Instagram, which was the way that we would connect with people back then,
Yeah.
I watched you for a long time. It was not immediate. It was not like, oh, let me just connect with this girl. Girl, I was like, this girl is the bomb. Let me just like, let me center myself first and then let me reach out. And I did. And I made sure that, and this is what people do, I think naturally. We make sure that we feel like we're ready. But I think what happened was one day I just made the decision. I
Yep.
wasn't really ready, y'all. I just made the decision. And I think you were
Oh.
doing a live with someone. And I was like, well, I'll just reach out. You like, come on a live. And I was like, oh shoot, let me get my hair together. Like,
You know what? I remember, and I'll be honest with you, and I know usually, these lives we probably would have already ended by now, but we're having a really good conversation, so I appreciate you. I remember you from then to now, and I will say you've always been bomb.com, but I see more confidence, more showing up with authenticity and visibility, and I also see more strategy from you, like strategic moves. And mind you, I didn't know you from a can of paint, but just from what I seen, the Allegra then to the Allegra now, you are literally doing your thing, and you don't do it alone. You do it in community. You have a team, you have support, but you also, it's not the Allegra show, which I love. And yes, Allegra has her own brand, but she also has a mutual invested interest in her community brand and her brand. Sometimes it's lopsided or one-sided, right? Like for me, I got Healing While Building, I got Pop Up and Create, I also have Lashana West, and we're all in this together. So I just want to commend you, and I'm excited, future Dr. Allegra. Okay, period. Just super excited for you, girl.
thank you, ma'am. And listen, this is what community is about, right? And sometimes I think we just forget to really celebrate our wins and do these things. So thank you for just being here. Thank you for everything you do. And also for you guys that just haven't been a Pop Up and Create and haven't been in the Healing While Building community. I don't know what you're doing. Okay. Just do it. Just get in there, see what's up, peek in the window, whatever you got to do.
Yes.
We have some links for you to do that there in the chat. Also, Lashana, before we get out of here, can we leave some beautiful words of encouragement?
Sure. And I'd be remiss if I didn't just go a little deeper about Healing While Building Summit, guys, in Atlanta, November 8th and 9th. Take that back. November 7th and 8th. It's going to be at Skewed Orbit Studios with my good business bestie, Rachel LaForest. Her and her husband owns that site on the Beltline, guys. So we've outgrown Pop Up and Create, and we're going to be having it at Skewed Orbit Studios, which I'm super excited about. Win has a special code WIN, so you can save on your early bird. It's already discounted right now, so you'll get a additional savings by using the Win code. Do that as soon as possible. And we've already shared the link, healingwhilebuildingsummit.com. Couple words of impact. At the end of the day, life is going to always life. I don't care if the kids are doing their thing, your significant other, your job, your health, your parents, whatever it is, life is going to always life. And so it's very important to be proactive versus reactive when it comes to you taking care of yourself. When it comes to you doing your healing work, your inner work, your mental health, self-care, fill in the blank, because when it knocks at your door, you don't want to crash out and you don't want to start grasping for air. You want to already have support on speed dial. You want to already have your resiliency muscle working, right? And that's why I love the work that I do. And that's how I've been able to grieve in a, I'm going to say, healthy manner, if that makes sense, because I've already been doing the work every single day. Like my dad passed not even 30 days ago, and it's tough. It's rough, but I'm still here. I'm talking to you guys. I'm serving. I'm still working with my clients, and not saying that we just have to just keep going. We don't have to keep pushing. We just got to keep leaning in, whatever that means for you. So what I'm saying in layman's terms is nobody's coming to save us. No one is coming to save us. And it's not because they don't want to, it's because they're still trying to save themselves. How can I help Allegra if I'm trying to help myself? How can I help my daughter if I'm still trying to help myself? So when people aren't there for you, let's not personalize it. Let's just remember we got to do our own due diligence for ourselves, and then everyone else can get our overflow. So that's what I would like to share with everyone.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for those wonderful words. And y'all make sure you follow her on socials because you just brought up a thought of how I've seen you just doing so much with your family, your daughter, collaboration, mommy daughter reels. So make sure you guys check that out. And we will see you guys on the next live stream, y'all, and at the conference. Make sure you grab your tickets.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.